Hi everyone, hi and students. So, in this video I'll talk about the RTP and MTP of the agency chapter for the last 3 years. Since we are done with the revision of the agency chapter and also we have discussed the TYK questions from the agency chapter, I want to show you guys how the ICI will give you questions from this chapter and how so many concepts, repetitive concepts will come, repetitive sections will come for in this, I'll show you from in this past RTPs and MTPs for the last 3 years how many questions they have asked with the same provision and how you can easily score marks in this chapter. 5 to 10 marks is bonus from this chapter which the ICI will ask you. And students who skip these chapters, easy chapters, they should at least see this RTP MTV discussion video and TYK discussion video, if possible the revision video as well. If you don't want to see a revision video, it's fine, but this RTP MTP discussion of the last 3 years and the TYK question discussion video, please see that video and go see. I don't gain anything out of this videos because why I'm doing this video is to help you guys to score well in your exams and to pass your intermediate exams faster so that you can reach finals. So in this chapter what kind of questions the ICI will pose. And see, one more thing is the questions which the ICI asked is so easy, and it's from the same concept which is there in the TYK as well. Even the test your knowledge questions is there now in the back of the chapter. Same questions as come in RTP and MTP. I'll show you now. Okay, let's start discussing the each question one by one. I'm doing only the contact of agency right now. If you want me to do the chapters for other chapters, RTP and MTP discussion questions from those chapters as well, for the bailment and pledge, for the guarantee, for the company law chapter, please let me know down below in the comment if you want those videos as well, the discussion video as well. And do like the video and subscribe to our channel for this more such videos which will be helpful for you till you clear the exams for May 23. Okay, now let's get into this question. First question. This is from RTP May 2020. They've asked this question. What is the question? Question, what they are saying in this question is there is a person who is called Pankaj who is principally appoints Shruti as the agent to sell his estate. And see, this question you can find it even in the provision examples in the revision video 1 point, and you can also find this even in the TYK. I think this is there in the test your knowledge question. It is similar to this question as come, I think. Yes. So even if you see the TYK discussion or the revision video, I can guarantee you, if you see both of them, I can promise you that you'll score the maximum marks. And if this question comes, it comes for 5 marks, and you can score the entire 5 marks. It will be in your bag just by seeing this video. You can write it. Okay. So now, please focus on this question now. There, the Pankaj, the principal appoints Shruti to sell his estate, to sell the principal's estate. And Shruti is there, no. And this provision, even when I was discussing in the revision video, I told it is very important. So let's get into the question now. I'll not talk too much because I've told it so many times, even in the TYK discussion video. And I've also explained to you in the test your knowledge question video how to break the question, how to mark the important keywords in the question, how to write the solution. I've explained entire thing taking one case study as an example. So go do check out that video as well. Okay, that is very important from the exam point of view, because I won't be doing that every time in the each every video. Okay, because in that video I've discussed entirely in depth how to do a particular question in law. Okay, even if you don't know a particular question in law, how to approach that question also I've discussed there. Okay, now, in this question, as we are saying, as the question says that there is a principal who appoints an agent to sell his estate. But what happens is the agent Shruti, she was looking over the estate before selling it, and she finds that there is an existence of a good quality mine. It is a granite mine on the estate which is not known to the principal. This much only, after reading this much, you should give an hint to you which provision it is trying to refer. Okay, because this provision is very important. Section 215, 216 provision, I had told you so many times when I was discussing. So, and next point is that the Shruti, she buys the estate for herself after informing Pankaj that she wishes to buy the estate for herself but conceals the existence of the granite mine. What the agent did, she purchased it for herself and she concealed the fact that there is a mine is there in the estate. And what the principal Pankaj allows the Shruti to buy the estate in ignorance of the existence of the mine. See what points which I'm rounding in the question now. Those are important keywords which are hinting at the provision. Okay, this is how you break the question. Next, what is the requirement of the question? See, once you break the question, you have to see the requirement of the question. Suppose what points we have marked in when we are reading the question now, the examiner might not have asked you the same question in the requirement. So don't jump into writing the answer just because you read that much. First, you have to see what is the requirement of the question. The requirement of the question state giving reasons in brief, the rights of Pankaj, the principal, against Shruti, the agent. Give your answer as per the provisions of the Contract Act. And what would be your answer if Shruti had informed Pankaj about the existence of the mine before she purchased the estate, but after 2 months she sold the estate at a profit of 10 lakhs? Here there are two questions are there. This is question number one. This is question number two. But both these questions are based on the same provision. So you don't have to worry about writing two different provisions because there is no two different provisions here. There are only same provision is there, but two sections are there. Section 215, section 216. Section 215 deals, it says that the agent can't deal in the particular property on his own. Second, section 216, it says that whatever the benefits the agent gains from the particular contract, no particular transaction by concealing a particular information or material circumstances, and later on whatever profits or gains he makes, the principal has the right to recover it. That is, both sections are applicable here. In detail, I'll mark even the important keywords in the particular solution and I'll discuss the solution. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what kind of question they ask. Okay, now see, in the exams also same type of question only will come. They won't ask you something different because we have seen so many times that the question from the RTPs, like last 2 years RTPs or 3 years RTP question repeating in the exam. So please focus and study all the RTP questions when you are going to the exam. So that if a question comes directly from the RTP, you don't have to think and you're able to answer it very easily. Okay. Now what they are telling in this, we understood what the question is, right? The agent concealed the information, not giving it to the principal. So there are two parts to this question. First, what they are asking is rights of the principal against the agent. Give your answer as per the provisions of the act. And next is that whether if the agent had told the principal that the existence of the mine, but still she purchased the estate and sold it for profit. So in both these cases, same provision. But what provision is that I told sections 215 and section 216, section 215 and 216. And before you write the answer, no, this is very important. This line, agent's duty to disclose all the material information and this is his duty not to deal on his own account without the principal's consent. See, this is the starting line, or this should be how you should approach the solution for a question on section 215, 216. When a question comes, this sentence you should write as it is, so that this question, this line, no, it gives the impression to the evaluator that so the person, the student has understood this section properly, because here this line itself answers the entire question. Agent's duty to disclose all the material circumstance. Here in the first case, he did not disclose, and it is his duty not to deal on his own account without the principal's consent. After writing that, next what you have to write is section 215, section 216 you have to write. Section 215, 216, what does it say? Section 215. It says that if an agent deals on his own account in the business of the agency without obtaining the consent of the principal, without acquainting him the all the material circumstances, then the principal can cancel the transaction. Why I said cancel is repudiate means cancel. And see, some of the students what they'll do is they will not write this technical term repudiate. Repudiate is a technical law term. I suggest that you write repudiate itself. Okay, the principal has the right to repudiate the transaction. Repudiate means cancel the transaction. Next, section 216. What does section 216 is? I told you. If an agent, without the knowledge of this principal, acts on his own account in the business of the agency, then the principal may claim any benefit which he may have accrued to the agent from such transaction. See, this sentences, these keywords you have to buy at. There is no other choice. If there was any other choice, I would have told you, but there is no other choice. Sadly, there is no other choice, because the evaluator will see if these keywords are present in your answer before giving you the answer, before giving you the marks. See, what happens is, if you write answer on your own just because you understood this provision, what the evaluator will do is, if the question is for 5 marks, no, the validator will do is, you have written the right answer, you have written the right conclusion, but these keywords you have not mentioned, technical law terms like repudiate the transactions, or acquainting him with all the material circumstance, or obtaining consent from the principal, and he dealt it on his own account in the business of the agency, like that. Okay, if you have not written that but the answer is right, the validator will give you maximum 2 marks or 3 marks, and he will leave off, because the answer is correct, conclusion is right. For this he will give you only 1 marks. So if you write the keywords on your own sentence also, validator can give you 5 marks as well. So that's why I'm telling you. Okay, you understood now. And so section 215, also section 216 also I've discussed, even keywords are marked. It is up to you now to see this video at least 2-3 times, or to revise it on your own. Okay. Next, coming to the conclusion for this two questions. For question one, what is the conclusion? Conclusion is that Pankaj had given his consent to the Shruti, permitting the latter to act on her own account, to act on his own account in the business of the agency. Pankaj may still repudiate the transaction of sale, as the existence of the material circumstance had not been disclosed to him. See, in this case, the principal had given the authority to the agent to act on his own account. So he has not gone beyond the authority, the agent in this case. He has not gone beyond his authority by acting on his own account. Principal had given the authority, but what happened is, the principal, no, the agent did not the principal, the agent, no, he did not disclose that there was the existence of a mine. He did not disclose. He concealed that fact, concealed that information from the principal. So now the principal can repudiate the transaction, cancel the transaction on sale, since there is existence of the mine, which is a material circumstance which the agent concealed from the principal. That is the answer for question number one. Question number two, what is the answer is, second part of the question, what they have asked is, suppose if Shruti had informed the Pankaj about the existence of the mine before she purchased the estate, but after 2 months she sold the estate at the profit of 10 lakhs. See, in the second case, the agent has told the principal about the existence of the mine, but before she purchased the estate, and also later on she sold it for the profit after purchasing it on her own. But the important thing to see here is, important keyword here is that she informed the principal about the existence of the mine. She did not go beyond the authority. She did not conceal a material information from the principal. She did not take advantage of the particular circumstances. So she informed the principal. So since she informed the principal, in this case, the part two, she is the principal. No, Pankaj, he cannot repudiate the transaction, and you cannot claim the benefit which the agent has obtained by selling the estate for profit of 10 lakh, that which he has sold. No, he cannot claim in this case. That is the answer for the part two. That's what they've written. See, what they've written is, Pankaj acknowledged that Shruti was acting on her own account. This was there even in the part one as well. But the second part is that also that the mine was in existence. That is the important key thing which you have to focus here. That the existence of the mine was known to the principal here. The agent had told. Hence, he cannot repudiate the transaction. And as per section 215, and also as per section 216, he cannot claim any benefit from Shruti, as he acknowledged that Shruti was acting on her own account in the business of agency. Okay, he cannot claim any benefit also, since as he acknowledged that she was acting on her own account in the business of agency, since it is given in the part one as well. Okay, so this question, they've asked it so many times, like n number of times in your exams. So I can tell you, I cannot stress how many times this question is asked. So now it's up to you whether how you will revise this, and how you will mark the important keywords, and you will understand. Okay. Now coming to 21 RTP, question number two. Okay. In May 2021 RTP question. In this question, what they have asked is, see, the question is, there is Akash, who is famous manufacturer of the leather goods. He appoints Prashant as his agent. And Prashant is entrusted with the work of recovering the money from various traders to whom the Akash sells leather goods. Prashant is paid a monthly remuneration of 15,000. Prashant during a particular month recovers 40,000 from the traders on account of Akash. Prashant gives back 25,000 to Akash after deducting his salary. So based on the provisions of the section, whether the act of the Prashant is valid. So just by reading the question itself, you can understand that where this answer is, what the question, which provision it is trying to enter. You would have, when I did the revision video, in the revision video, I had discussed that right of the agent. In that, one of the right of the agent is right of remuneration. In that right of remuneration, I had told you that the agent can deduct his disbursements, his salary, his remuneration from the commission of the principal, his commission from the principal's money which he receives, which he has to give to the principal. No, principal's income which he receives, that which he has to give the principal's money, in that he can deduct his salary, commission, or whatever disbursements which advances which he has given, expenses. Okay. So in this case, that's what happened. Agent deducted the 15,000 from the 40,000 and gave 25,000 to the principal. So whether the act is valid, yes, it is valid. So now we will see the solution as per ICI, what they have written, what you should write in your exams if this question comes. So this question it is based on section 202 of the Contract Act 1872, where an agency becomes irrevocable, where the agent has himself an interest in the property which forms the subject matter of the agency. This I've repeated it so many times. This provision section 202, it should be in the tip of your tongue. I told you when I was teaching this in the revision video, part 3, it is there. And the test your knowledge question, also similar question had come, that agency coupled with interest. Agency coupled with interest, section 202 of the Contract Act, which says that agency becomes irrevocable, where the agent is himself interested in the property which is the subject matter of the agency, right? Next, what they're saying is such an agency cannot, in the absence of the express provision in the contract, be terminated to prejudice of such interest. Understood? This entire thing, this provision is asked so many times, just like the previous question which I had told, the provision asked so many times. These questions, no, the ICI keeps on repeating it often. So these provisions should be in the tip of your tongue. You should be knowing by heart. Next, this is the fact of the case. I told when I had in TYK, if you have seen my TYK video, test your knowledge question video, which I put for agency, in that I told that there are three parts to the solution. One is provision, next is facts of the case, and next is conclusion. These three parts should be there, and each part carries marks. I told you. So now we discuss the provision. Now we will see what is the facts of the case. Facts of the case, you can write it on your own. Just state what's there in the question. Conclusion, we'll see. Conclusion is that interest was created in favor of Prashant and the said agency is not revocable. Therefore, the act of the Prashant is valid. Understood. This is what you should write when if this question comes in the exam. Next question is November 21 RTP. November 21 RTP. This question, what happened is this question also had repeated it in your test your knowledge question. It has come. This is based on the example of the provision. See my revision video examples. The example can itself be created into a case study and can be asked in your exam. Okay. So I'm repeating it so many times. I don't know how many times I've told already. See, okay. Next, what they were told in this question is, see, there is a person who is called Mr. Yadav, who is a cargo owner, who is chartered a vessel to carry cargo of wheat from a foreign port to Chennai. Vessel got stranded on the reef in the sea for 300 miles from the destination. The ship's managing agent signed a salvage agreement for Mr. Yadav. The goods being perishable, the salvors stored it at their own expense. Salvors intimated the whole incident to the cargo owner. The Mr. Yadav refuses to reimburse the salvor as it is the ship owner, being the bailee of the cargo, who was liable to reimburse the salvor until the contract remained unterminated. So, based on the provisions, do you acknowledge or decline the act of Salver as an agent of necessity for Mr. Yadav explain. So I read the question. Now you wouldn't have understood. See, in this what happened is there is a person who is called Mr. Yadav who is a cargo owner. He chartered a vessel from to deliver the goods which is wheat, cargo of wheat from a foreign port to Chennai. But what happened is when he was the ship was coming, the cargo got strangled. The vessel, no vessel is there, no. The vessel got stranded. It got stuck in one of the sea destination. Okay, in one of the reefs, it got stuck. Okay, then what happened is they are telling that the salvers are there. No, what they did is the goods which is perishable. The wheat is, as you know, they can't keep it for a long time in the sea. It becomes perish. It becomes it will perish. So it's a perishable goods. So the salvers stored it at their own expense. They stored it salvers, and the salvers intimated the whole incident to the cargo owner and asked him to reimburse the money for the expenses which they incurred for storing the wheat. But what the cargo owner told is that the ship owner is responsible, not the cargo owner, because the ship owner is in the contract. So he should be liable to pay the reimburse salvers. That's what he said. So in this question, what can be a solution? As you all know that the cargo owner will be the one who is responsible to reimburse the salvers because the cargo owner has the duty. This is see, they've combined the agents in the modes of agency. I told agency by emergency, agency by necessity. They combined both of them here. Agency by emergency is what is that? Agency by emergency. The agent is there, no, to do everything which is possible as a person of ordinary prudence would do in his own case to protect the principal from suffering losses. That is one part. That is agency by emergency. Agency by necessity is that it is by necessity means there is no other choice because if he doesn't do that, the principal will suffer losses. That's what is necessity, out of necessity. So we'll see the solution and you will be able to understand it even better. And I'll mark the important key points as well. See, if this question comes now, it will come for 5 marks. So don't lose out on those 5 marks. It is very valuable 5 marks, I'm telling you. You won't even know. You lose out marks in the big chapters. And these chapters, when they are so easy, you can solve it very easily and can score 5 marks. You will skip these chapters and you will go. Section 189, Indian Contract Act. It defines the agent's authority in case of emergency. An agent has the authority, in case of emergency, to do all such acts for the purpose of protecting his principal from the loss that would have been done by a person of ordinary prudence in his own circumstances, in his own case. Okay. And next is that agency out of necessity. I told my agency out of necessity. Right, agency out of necessity. What is this? What they are saying is, in certain circumstances, a person who has been entrusted with another's property may have to incur unauthorized expenses to protect or to preserve it. To protect or to preserve something, the person, the principal who gave the cargo no here, that person for whom the agent whom he gave the cargo, he has to incur the expenses to protect or preserve it just as a person of ordinary prudence would do for himself. That's what they are saying. This is called a agency of necessity. Right. You have to write these sentences, these two sentences, because this agency of necessity, they explain it there. Okay, next is that the in the above case, see we told the provision, they told the provision in the first part. Now they are telling the facts of the case and they'll tell you the conclusion. In the above case, the salver had implied authority from the cargo owner to take care of the cargo. There was an implied authority that the salver had to take care of the cargo which belonged to the cargo owner. They acted as the agents out of necessity on behalf of the cargo owner. The cargo owner is duty bound towards Salver, and Salver is entitled to recover the agreed sum of money from Mr. Yadav and not from the ship owner as lien on the goods. Understood? See, this question is very important from the exam point of view, if you ask me. Compared to other questions, this question is more important because I can see this question coming in your May 23 exams. I feel like they can ask you in May 23 exams this question. So I suggest that you read this question at least once or twice and you understand what is the concept, what is the provision, and you go, okay. least 2 3 times if you read, no, you'll be able to understand, because here nothing is there, just very simple concept. Agents by in case of emergency, and agency in case of necessity. These 2 points, if you remember what it means, you can straight away write the provision. Then later on you can write facts of the case on your own based upon an analysis with the question. Then you can write the conclusion. That's see, next part is MTPs. This next all questions from this point on is from the MTPs. It's from 22, 20, and 21. The MTPs. Okay. This question is similar to the question which I have given in the above. Same answer will come. Just to show you that the questions will repeat from the RTP, MTP. No, and even from your examples, the questions which are examples which are given, and test your knowledge question is there. No, from that also the questions will come. Just to show you that I have put this question as well here. Same question, same answer is given here. Same question you can see in a cargo owner, chartered vessel, same thing is perishable goods. Same solution they have written here. Same the above solution which is given here. No, same solution they have written here. Just to show you that they'll ask given in the MTP the same question which is given in RTP and is given in a test your knowledge study material. Just to prove that I'm given the same question can come in your exams as well. That's why I'm trying to tell this question. I can see that it's coming in your see that coming in the exam. So it is important from the exam point of view for May 23. Next question, what they are saying here is the agency, whether the agency will be terminated, whether the agency will be terminated in the following cases and other provisions. What is the first question? A gives authority to B to sell A's land to pay himself out of the proceeds debts due to him from A. Afterwards, A becomes insane. See, I had told you so many times, this is also a case where Section 202 will come into a play, where it is irrevocable agency, agency which is irrevocable, and agency coupled with interest. See, in this case, the property which is if the agent is recovering no that amount, he has self interest in that, the subject matter of that agency, right? So what they are saying here is the principal A gives authority to B to sell his land and to pay himself out of the proceeds which he will get no agent, the debts which is due to him from the principal. So afterwards, the principal goes insane. See, even if the principal goes insane, even if he goes insane or he dies, even if there is a death, even if he goes insolvent, it doesn't matter. This is irrevocable agency, Section 202. Irrevocable agency. Above we read no, Section 202, where it says that where the agent where the agent has himself interest in the property which forms subject matter of the agency cannot, in the absence of express contract, be terminated. Is prejudicial to the interest of the agent. So where the so in other words, when the agent is personally interested in subject matter of the agency becomes irrevocable. So A giving authority to B to sell his land and to pay himself out of the proceeds the debts due to him from A as per the facts given in the question. A cannot revoke this authority, nor it can be terminated by his insanity, even if he dies, even if there is insolvency. Also, if he becomes insolvent, it is irrevocable agency. Understood. Next question number 2. What they're saying here is A appoints B as A's agent to sell A's land. B, under the authority of A, appoints C as agent of B. Afterwards, A revokes the authority of B but not of C. What is the status of agency of C? See, this is a very simple question. What they've asked here. See, each question can carry marks of 2 marks. You can easily score at least minimum 4 marks out of this. 5 marks definitely they will post because provisions are very important from these questions. What they are told in the questions number 2 is they are told that this is a case where it is a case of subagent. I've told you that the case of subagent and substituted agent is very very important from the exam point of view. So many times when I even did this what do we call the revision video, I've explained it very thoroughly, and it is in a very simple manner the substituted agent and subagent, the difference between the two. So please go and watch my revision video on subagent substituted agent. I even put the timestamps so that you won't have to search too much. You can just directly click on the timestamp for sub-agent and substitute agent. You can watch that and you can understand it very easily. Okay, and it is a very thoroughly I explained it. That's why it is a very comprehensive coverage, detailed coverage of the both the topics of sub-agent and substitute agent. And one more thing, what I can tell you is, in the case of sub-agent, no, I told you that sub-agent. First of all, the original agent cannot appoint sub-agent. It is not allowed as per the law of Indian Contract Act 1872. But if the sub-agent is appointed, it can be due to two exceptions. One is due to because of the customs and trade. Another is that it is given the power is given by the principal to the agent to appoint sub-agent. Or the third case is that it is due to unforeseen emergency, the original agent has to appoint the sub-agent in order to do the principal's business provided the principal allows. So this is the entire thing about the sub-agent which I had told. And if he is appointed properly, if he is not appointed properly, both of them, both of the points also I discussed. You should see my test your knowledge questions and also the revision video on sub-agent, substitute agent before you go to May 23 exams. It is very important. I'm repeating again. See, you have to see that 2-3 times at least. Okay, now coming to this question, what they are saying, this is based on sub-agent. Sub-agent, no. As I've told you, in this case, the subsidy sub once they are asking that A, the principal no, he appoints B as agent to sell his land, but B appoints C to do the business for the principal. Afterwards, A revokes the authority of the agent, original agent, who is the B. So the C, who is the sub-agent, is the authority whether what is the status of the agency of the C. They are asking. See, if you are getting confused, I'll tell you in a very simple manner. A, who is the principal, no. A, who is the principal, who is there. He appoints B as his agent to sell his land. Okay, to sell his land, he appointed him as the agent. I'll write OA because he is the original agent. So B appoints the sub-agent who is C, who is a sub-agent of original agent. Who is a sub-agent of the original agent. SCA means sub-agent. Sub-agent of the original agent, right? So the C who is appointed by B, no. If the A revokes the authority of the B, if he revokes the authority of B, automatically C will also, his authority will also get uh, revoked, right? So whoever the sub-agents, if he has appointed 3-4 sub-agents also, once the original agent's authority is revoked by the principal, the authority of the sub-agents is also revoked as well. Okay, once this is revoked, this is also revoked. This is also revoked. Understood? That's what we have to write here. See, the sections also you can remember easily. So this is based on section 202, agency equivalent with interest. This is based on section 191 of the Indian Contract Act, where the sub-agent is a person employed by and acting under the control of the original agent in the business of agency. The business of agency is acting under the control of the original agent. Sub-agent means is sub of the original. So section 210, it provides that the termination of the authority of the agent causes the termination of the authority of all the sub-agents appointed by him. B is the agent of A and C is the agent of B. Hence, C becomes a sub-agent. Just like I've explained it here, A is the principal who appoints B as original agent. B appoints C as sub-agent. So once this contract of agency is cancelled, then this also gets cancelled. That's what we are saying to tell here. This is based on section 191. You have to write sub-agent is a person appointed by the original agent, and you have to tell once the termination of the agency of the original agent happens, all sub-agents appointed by the original agent will also be get revoked, terminated. Okay. When A revokes the authority of B, it results in the termination of the authority of the sub-agent appointed by B, that is C, that sub-agent. Okay. Next question, these two questions now. You have to see my revision video because I have explained it very comprehensively and with a detailed manner. I have explained this concept. This is a mode, one of the modes of agency by estoppel. This is very important. I told when I did the modes of agency, I told you agency by estoppel is a very important concept, very important provision, and it might come in your exam in May 23 exam. And next is what are the essential conditions for the creation of the agency by estoppel? You have to see my revision video part 1. In that you can, in the timestamp I've given important symbol also. In my comment box I've given, in the description I've given the agency by estoppel. You can click in the timestamp and you can see that in the revision video part 1. I won't discuss it here because I've discussed it there. You can go and see that and you can write this answer. Okay. Next, what they are telling is, next one is, this is based on TYK question. You can see my TYK discussion video. In that I have discussed this question. TYK discussion I have done now. In that I have discussed this question. Same question is there in the test your knowledge question in behind this chapter. Principle is not always bound by the acts of the subagent. This you can see in the TYK. Just see my TYK video is there. TYK video which I have released now. In that video, if you see, you can come to know what is the answer for this one. Right. So I've discussed everything, including the questions on RTP and MTP questions of the last 3 years I've discussed. This is more than enough for your exams. So now I can tell you that you are prepared thoroughly for the chapter of agency. I hope that whatever the questions the institute will ask you from this chapter, you will be able to write it and you will be able to score the entire marks which is allotted for that question. See, please leave out, don't leave out or skip these chapters. These other lost chapters are there, the bailment pledge, agency. These chapters are very easy and very scoring from the exam point of view. Those students who struggle to score marks in theory chapters, theory papers now, those students can score marks from these small chapters because it comes for around 5 to 10 marks from these small chapters, which can be very scoring and which will get you pass in that exam. Okay, so good luck, study well, and don't waste time.